for being with us. I'm McGonigal.
I was born and raised in Helena.
Critics have said the bill goes too far.
In fact, 4 generations of my family are from Montana. You know, when you think about it, Montana is like one big family.
One of the biggest talk
People who live here and love this state and let me tell their stories make this more than just a place to do my job. They make it home. That's why we're Montana's news leader.
Tim will be continuing to be here. The president expected to come onto that stage here any minute now. Back to you.
All right, thanks Shannon, thanks Mike. Donald Trump Jr. again in Montana. As we said, he's been here quite a few times, and Steve Daines will be most likely running for re-election in 2020, and who knows, maybe Donald Trump Jr. will be back in the state at that time, and maybe Donald Trump, President Trump, might be back that time too.
Well, that re-election in 2020 is really critical for Senator Daines. Senator Daines, of course, got 59, I think it was 59% of the vote when he first ran for the U.S. Senate.
A home on Great Falls west side ignites in flames this afternoon. That call came in for a fire at a home on the 200 block of 26th Street Northwest around 2:45 this afternoon. Great Falls Fire Rescue responded along with Black Eagle Volunteer Fire Department and Vaughn Fire and Rescue. The fire completely destroyed the mobile home and all of the residents made it out safely. We will update this story on air and online as we get more information. All right, thanks a lot, Brandon. Well, at Rocky Mountain Treatment Center in Great Falls, one of the most popular parts of the rehabilitation process is the equine therapy program. Tonight, we wrap up our Road to Recovery series with a closer look at the healing power of horses.
Horses don't care what brought you into treatment. Horses don't care how many times you've come to treatment. They don't care what you were using, how much you were using, how you were using it. What they care about is you being genuine.
Jessica Shortridge grew up on a ranch near Cutbank, so running the equine therapy program for Rocky Mountain Treatment Center makes sense for her in more ways than one.
I am a recovering alcoholic, meth, opiate, cannabis addict, whatever was available.
She's been sober for 11 years. For the last 6, she's been helping turn skeptics into believers.
A lot of people are really terrified from the horses. Courage is being afraid and doing it anyways.
Each of Eagle Mount's 16 horses has their own personality, like Sriracha, a 3-year-old mare, which Jessica says equates to an 18-year-old girl.
Each horse has their character assets and defects, just like we do.
During treatment, each client will typically attend 3 horse therapy sessions a week, starting with introductions.
She gave you permission to pet her.
Putting on a halter and lead rope, grooming, and eventually leading the horse.
And leading involves assertive communication. It involves healthy boundaries, some things that we're not accustomed to.
And at this point, they're still working on boundaries. That if the horse is too close, they can say, that makes me uncomfortable, please back up.
For Eagle Mount's Jenny Gouldy, working with the equine therapy program hits close to home. Her sister struggled with addiction for more than 30 years.
And it helps me work through so much of the scars that I've had as living lifelong with an addict. And I can help. If I can't help her, if I can help them, that means everything to me.
There we go, yes!
The cool thing with horses is that they're more than a mirror to what's going on inside of us. The thing with recovery is to be rigorously honest.
What is that? You can hear more from Jessica about the program, including one of her favorite stories about a client, and you can see that on our website. Now, even though Mr. Rosapal is unopposed in the Republican primary, we have included him this evening in the name of equal time and for the benefit of viewers who may be undecided. Most of the questions for tonight's forum have been selected by a panel of KRTV newsroom employees, but we've also solicited questions from viewers, and for more on that, we'd like to introduce the 3rd member of our on-air team tonight, Montana This Morning anchor Keely Van Middendorp.
That's right. Over the next hour, I'll be...
Yeah.
All right, you've been listening to Kathleen Williams, the Democratic U.S. House candidate from her party headquarters in Bozeman, where she's not conceding defeat. That race still too close to call, 51% to 47% in favor of Greg Gianforte, the Republican and the incumbent in that race. We have been told that we are going to be hearing from Senator Jon Tester in a few moments, or any time really. He's in Great Falls actually, so we're just awaiting on that. But Good morning and welcome to this week's Face the State. I'm Tim McGonigal. We come to you today from our Great Falls studio, and in less than a month, the Electric City will be the center of the Western art world, as 2018 marks the 50th anniversary of the Russell Auction. It's grown from some humble beginnings to the premier event of its kind. Today, we're pleased to have three people who are instrumental in the past, present, and future success of the Russell and Western Art Week. Norma Ashby has been a part of the Russell since it began back in 1969. And Tom Figarelli is the executive director of the C.M. Russell Museum. And also with us today is Dwayne Broughton, the museum's director of art and philanthropy. The Russell exhibition sale goes from March 15th through the 17th, but as we're going to tell you, there's a lot more than just the events at the Russell. So folks, thanks for taking time today. Norma, we're going to start with you. As I said, you've been with the event since the beginning. Can you believe it's been 50 years?
No, it's totally unbelievable, but what a joy.
Cargill's history in Montana dates back to a grain project in Valier in 1908.
Now the Minnesota-based ag company is embarking on a new venture, headquartered in an exciting new facility.
The Montana Ag Network recently got a first-hand look.
Walking into Cargill's new facility north of Great Falls is like stepping back in time.
We look to make it look like an old elevator that you would see in the past. We brought in reclaimed wood from across Montana, and after the fact we found out the bulk of that wood came from an old Cargill elevator in Hingham.
While the company made the 18,000 square foot building look like a page from the past, it did so with an all-inclusive eye to the future. The company is looking to make a major agricultural impact with its multi-purposed omega-3 canola project.
Number one, canola will be a great rotational partner for our growers in the area. Number two, it's a highly sustainable project. The amount of omega-3 that we get from 160 acres of our crop will replace 1.7 million pounds of fish being taken from the ocean.
Canola is catching on in Montana. 2 years ago, there were 60,000 acres grown. Last year, 100,000. Montana is already the nation's #1 pulse crop producer, and canola will help growers diversify even more.
It'll give them the ability to have a broadleaf crop that they can control things that they couldn't control in their wheat and barley crop, and vice versa. The wheat and barley will complement the canola as well. So we see the growers having another option and ultimately another market that they can be a member of.
With field trials spread from Fort Benton to Valier, Cargill is hoping to cater to farmers in all parts of the Golden Triangle.
We'll have close to 1,000 different varieties of canola in those trials, and we're really looking for that needle in the haystack. What's the hybrid that's really going to perform in that area? What works in Fairfield may not work in Conrad, and what works in Conrad may not work in Fort Benton.
The Great Falls location currently has 6 employees, but could employ up to 20 in the future. And the facility could well become a one-stop shop.
When our customers come in, if they want to know what's coming in the future, we'll have the people on the R&D side that can tell them what's coming 5-6 years down the road. If they want to buy canola in the future, they'll have a sales team that they can come straight to and ask those questions.
Cargill's Great Falls facility also features a summer internship program. This year, 2 students from Montana State and 1 from Iowa State will work in the Electric City.
Our next question, Tim McGonigal to Mr. Rosendale.
Mr. Rosendale, I want to talk about political ads. We've seen a lot of them in the past few weeks, but in this campaign, we've seen Senator Tester referred to as a puppet for Democratic leadership and even as an inventor of the media circus. You yourself have been referred to as Maryland Matt, all hat, no cattle. Why not focus on the issues rather than playground taunts? Aren't these ads just insulting the intelligence of Montanans?
They are, and I really appreciate that question, Tim, because I'll tell you something. When I entered this campaign a year ago, folks asked me what it was going to be about, and I said, it's going to be about the truth.
Using rain in time for the commute.
Finally, Des Moines Police and Animal Control were called to an apartment complex on the city's south side today. The apartment manager there called police reporting several live chickens in a car. Police arrived to find at least 10 chickens roosting in the car.
Now, apparently there's no laws against this, as the animals were not in distress and appeared to have food, and the car window was cracked just a little bit. Neighbors said they think the owner likes to eat fresh chicken, and that's why they're in the car. Police are still trying to track down the owner of the car, as well as the chickens. It's usually dogs,
Yeah, I'm glad
cats.
the temperature wasn't too hot
surprised.
because they would have had fried chicken. Sorry.
All ready to eat, I guess, for those people.
Which the owner likes.
We'll see you back here at 10.
Good night.